This is the second part, second video on Twin Star Exorcists. This time it won't be so negative because I'm going to be talking about something I actually like about the series or the story, and that is the manga. The manga for Twin Star Exorcists is, in my opinion, pretty good. It's actually really enjoyable to read, unlike the anime, in that I found that quite disappointing. But that's a whole separate video. Come on the top right, there'll be a link to the place in the description. That's by the by. Anyway, the manga for Twin Star Exorcists, for me, is really enjoyable. I like the art, it's good. It's a monthly publishing manga. It's a Shonen Jump. Well, it's not a Jump, but it's a Shonen manga that publishes monthly. In this video, I'll actually talk more about the story than I did in the anime, because that was more me just being disappointed with the anime than... Yeah, we'll do that. So, Twin Star Exorcists is about two kids who are the quote-unquote strongest exorcists of the East and the West, one male, one female, and they are told that they are to get married and have a kid. And this kid will basically be Jesus and will rid the world of the Kagare, which are evil demons that the exorcists fight against. However, they're having none of this. They have their own reasons as to why they'd rather not do that and would instead rather, well, do it themselves instead of giving birth to a kid to do it. And that's what the manga's about. It's about them getting strong. Well, not necessarily them getting stronger, but them interacting, developing their bond, because this is a romance between these two main characters in Rokuro and Benyo, and it's about them developing their relationship, whether they like it or not, it just happens, as well as them getting stronger, interacting, fighting more Kagare, learning more about the world of Magano, what they're really getting themselves into by wanting to end the threat themselves instead of, taking the easy route and just giving birth to the prophesized child and getting out easy. And it's really good. It's actually a really fun read. It's a pretty good shonen manga. And I know there's a lot of manga and anime out there about exorcising demons. We have Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Exorcist. There's many, many more than those few that I just mentioned. And Twin Star Exorcist is among those, and you might be sick of that style of manga or anime. But I think this one is different in essence, given the concept, and the fact that it could potentially end with, them not doing that. It could end with them being... I don't know how this manga will end, but I could see it ending in, yep, Rokuro and Benio do end the Kagare threat, or something happens where they realize they're incapable, they have a kid, it ends, and then we get a sequel manga about the kid. Perhaps. I mean, that's what could happen. Either of those could, or could not. We could get something completely different. I don't know. But yeah, this manga I do enjoy. And some of the plot points have been coming up, and have already come up from wherever in the manga. I'm about 40 or so chapters in, I believe, of the 90 something, I want to say, that are currently out. And I've enjoyed pretty much every single one of them. And the plot points, as I said, that have come up now with Rokuro and his guardian spirit, because all exorcists have a guardian spirit, and Benio and hers, and especially with what's happened with Benio now, she's taking a back seat at this point in the story due to certain developments that have happened from where I've just read to, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where her character goes from here and what happens because of it. I have looked into it a little bit, and I do know roughly what happens, and it seems really cool, and I'm really interested to see how it's executed. But yes, seriously, I do recommend you give this manga a shot. If you tried the anime and were disappointed like I was, the manga is a much better way to experience Twin Star Exorcists, in my opinion. There's no filler, there's no bullshit, there's no unnecessary plot points that will be completely irrelevant later on in the story. Well, there might be some things that are mentioned at the start that are completely irrelevant later on, but I'm pretty sure every manga does that. But nowhere near to the extent the anime does. And the manga is just a fun read. It's just wholesome. There's been some really, really wholesome moments in the manga. It is a battle manga, as you can imagine, given that it's about, exorcising demons and the like. But recently we've had some really wholesome moments, especially now with, this is a small spoiler, but if you don't know, this won't make any sense, so it's fine. Rokuro has just left the mainland to go to Tsuchimikado Island, which is basically the front lines for the fight against the Kagare, whereas Benio, due to certain reasons, has had to stay behind, and that is why she is now taking a back foot in terms of the story, and Rockero is now much more heavily in the focus. He is the main character. Obviously, we have a duo lead, given it's Twin Star Exorcists, plural, there's more than one of them. But right now, it's basically Rockero is taking the front line, and I believe for the next handful of chapters, he will be the entire focus, and we won't really get much Benio, which for me will probably knock my enjoyment of the manga down, because I do love how they interact, and how Benio is as a character. She is an enjoyable character to have around, so having her be put to the sideline will be somewhat disappointing. However, I'm sure that what will be covered while she's, in the background will be really, really good, because of, well, where we are. We should get some really good fights, some really good world building, and we already have. Like, I read the last chapter I read had a semi-big reveal, and will have potentially pretty big plot implications later on. So I'm really looking forward to reading more of this and where it will go in the future. And really, that's all I can tell you about it without spoiling too much. I really want you watching this now to go pick up the Twin Exorcists manga. You can read it wherever you feel the need to, or you can read it over on the Shonen Jump app. It's like £2 a month subscription. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'd love to be, but I'm not. It's really cheap, and you get access to more than just Twin Star Exorcists. Go support the creators if you feel the need to, want to, or just can. If you can't, then that's perfectly fine. You know where you can go read manga if you really want to. Not that I condone that, but that's just me covering my own back. You do what you deem necessary to, enjoy the medium of anime and manga. That's an unnecessary point. I don't really know why I touched on that, but yes, go give Twin Star Exorcists manga a chance. And yes, that is pretty much all I've got to say for this video. The third one, which will be coming out on Friday, 2 days from now, from when you're watching this, will be the conclusion to the week of Twin Star Exorcists, I guess. And it'll just kind of be my overall thoughts on the series. I'll go a bit more in depth, probably a bit more spoilery, where I'll talk about what I disliked about the anime compared to the manga in a lot more detail. But yes, I just wanted to get 2 videos out, one about the anime and why I think it's shit, one about the manga and why I think it's pretty good, and then that sets up perfectly for why I think the manga is better than the anime, and can compare them, in tandem, having made 2 videos about them in the past. But yes, that's completely irrelevant, and as per usual, the YouTube deal by now. If you've been watching YouTube for more than, this is not your, as long as this isn't your first YouTube video, you know what the drill is. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, do what the fuck you feel like, and with all that said, I've been Animosity, you've been you, but I'll see you all next time for another video. Ta-ta, for now.